Today I want to talk about the number one reason tinnitus feels so much worse at night, and more importantly, how you can calm it down quickly so you can get rest and sleep. If you've ever noticed that your tinnitus seems manageable during the day, but the moment you seem to lie down at night, it suddenly feels louder, sharper, more intrusive, you're not imagining it. This is one of the most common tinnitus patterns, and it's something that I hear almost every day. It has a very specific explanation. So here's the key idea I want you to remember. Your tinnitus usually isn't actually louder at night. Your brain is just paying more attention to it. During the daytime, your brain is constantly busy. It has so much more to distract itself with. It's processing conversations that are going on in the room. You're listening to traffic noise, the weather, background noises from the refrigerator, the heating, looking around at anything that's moving or changing in your environment, thinking about all the tasks, decisions, and things on your to-do list. All of that sensory input really gives your auditory system plenty to work with so that it's less able to pick up solely on the tinnitus. But at night, when the world gets quiet and you finally stop moving and doing everything that you've been doing all day long, that external input suddenly drops away. And the brain just simply does not like silence. So it's not uncommon when you lie down in bed that you might notice your heart beating, or you might notice more of the sounds coming from your stomach than you did all day long. It's a lot like what happens if there's a candle lit during the daytime in a bright room versus if a candle is lit in a dark room. That flame hasn't actually changed in how bright it is. It's really just the contrast that has changed. And again, this is really what's also happening with tinnitus. Once the contrast of everything that's been going on around you, in your mind, in your body during the daytime kind of goes away and you're just left at night, your tinnitus is going to stick out a little bit more than it did. I want to take a moment to pause at this point and say this. If your tinnitus is significantly affecting your sleep, your mood, or your overall quality of life, you don't have to figure this out on your own. At Treble Health, we specialize in helping individuals calm tinnitus by addressing both the auditory system and the nervous system together. If you're early in your tinnitus journey, or if you've been struggling for some time, getting the right guidance can really make a big difference. Now, let's add in another layer. At night, you're often tired, naturally, and your nervous system may have been under stress all day, even if it didn't really feel overwhelming or didn't really feel like it was much of a different day than all your other days. But the reality is that the stress hormones, like cortisol, don't just instantly shut off when you get into bed. They kind of start to build throughout the day. So now that you're quiet, you're still, you're tired, and your nervous system is already on edge, it's really the perfect storm or setup for tinnitus to feel louder. And then you can add in the mental part. Once you lie down, you hear the sound, your brain asks yourself some of these questions. Why is it so loud? What if I can't get to sleep? What if I can never get to sleep? What if this is what's going to be like every night from now on? Those types of questions and thoughts start to trigger a threat response. Your body and brain goes into alert mode. Your heart rate increases, your muscles tense, and your auditory system becomes even more sensitive and reactive. This is how tinnitus and anxiety really feed off of one another. The more you monitor the sound, the louder it seems. The louder it seems, the more you monitor it, and suddenly bedtime has become a real-life nightmare even before falling asleep, and it becomes associated with stress instead of rest. Now here's the most important shift you can actually make. You don't need to eliminate the tinnitus at night in order to sleep. Believe it or not, I know it seems like, how can I ignore this? How can I fall asleep with this thing? But you know what? We seem to be able to sleep when there's loud thunderstorms or storms happening outside, windstorms. There's plenty of people who live alongside airports, train stations, busy metropolitan areas that there's a lot of noise and they're able to sleep. So we really can sleep despite having a loud sound that we're hearing. And the reality is that we really hear with the brain. So even though the sound of tinnitus is coming from inside of our own bodies as opposed to the outside world, the brain is processing the sound in many similar ways as it would a real-life alarm going off in your neighborhood. So you really don't have to eliminate it to be able to fall asleep. You just need to work on lowering the contrast and calming your nervous system. So let's talk about how to do that. The first and fastest tool is sound. Silence is not your friend when you have tinnitus at night. And I know I hear this from so many people. I just want to be able to fall asleep again in a quiet room. This is what I was used to. I hate having to listen to something in order to not listen to my tinnitus. But the reality is that when it's completely quiet, tinnitus has no other competition. And we really do seem to sleep better when there's some level of background noise. There's a lot of research that has supported this and found that we get into deeper sleep states and we have higher quality of sleep when there is some kind of background noise. And I really believe that it comes from almost like an evolutionary standpoint. If you think about where we all came from, how we started as these little cells and embryos, and we all were in utero at some point, well, it wasn't quiet in there. So literally our brains were developing in the presence of noise. And that's why it's often recommended that you get a sound machine and play some kind of like white noise or heart beating type sounds for newborns so that they can get used to falling asleep now that they're not inside the womb. So if you think about it from that standpoint, it doesn't make it seem so bad to have to listen to something like white noise, pink noise, or any kind of static sound or fan or nature sounds like rain just to get yourself to fall asleep. I think it really is just something that helps us all. So remember, sound machines aren't marketed just for individuals with tinnitus. Don't be afraid to use it, and don't be afraid to use it even after you are no longer struggling with tinnitus. Some other recommendations of things to listen to at night, I've had patients who really enjoy listening to low-level ambient music without lyrics, some with lyrics. Some individuals like listening to nighttime stories or podcasts. And the key here really is that you do not want to try to completely cover up your tinnitus. Masking it fully is going to make your brain more reactive. Instead, you want to aim to blend the tinnitus into the background sound, and when that contrast drops, the tinnitus often drops with it. Next, let's talk about tension. One of the biggest mistakes people make at night is trying to force the tinnitus away. They listen closely to it to see if it's changing. They test it. Is it louder? Is it softer? Does it sound like it's here or here? They try to compare it to what it was like yesterday or the night before. That kind of tension just tells your brain this sound is important to you, which is the opposite message that we all want to send to our brain when we're trying to not focus on tinnitus. Instead, we want to practice allowing the sound to exist without tracking it. A simple mental shift can help. So you can imagine that the tinnitus is further away than it actually is, or you can picture it coming from another room, or that you're boxing it up and putting it away in the attic, whatever it is, you would just want to picture yourself getting further away from it. You can also imagine blending it into the background noise that you're already utilizing. With this, you're not denying the sound, you're just changing your relationship to it. The next thing is to calm the nervous system directly. Your body, my body, all of our bodies has a built-in calming pathway called the vagus nerve. When it's activated, our heart rate slows, our muscles relax, and our brain shifts out of fight or flight mode and goes into the rest and digest mode. One of the simplest ways to activate this is actually just through breathing. So you can practice a deep breathing exercise before bed or at any point during the daytime if you're starting to feel a little bit of anxiety or stress. What you want to do is inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Then you're going to exhale gently through your mouth for another 6 to 8 seconds. Longer exhales tell your brain that you're safe, you're calm, and that you're ready to go to bed. You can do this for just 2 to 5 minutes, and it really helps because if you think about it, if you were sleeping, you probably would be breathing very similarly to how you're breathing during this exercise. Another powerful tool is humming. Soft hum for 1 or 2 minutes stimulates the throat and the vagus nerve, and that can quickly reduce anxiety. You don't have to be loud or musical, you don't have to be the next Cynthia Erivo or Ariana Grande, you just need to do it gentle and steady. You can make this part of your routine when you're brushing your teeth and using mouthwash, just gargle and hum a little bit. It really helps. You can also utilize progressive muscle relaxation. This is a technique where you start at your feet or toes and you gently tense and release the muscles for a few seconds. You slowly move up your body. This helps to signal to your nervous system that it's okay to let go. You're able to drift off into sleep and you're calm. This is something that I still do. I remember learning about it in middle school, in our middle school PE class, and it really is a wonderful tool. You can, like the breathing exercise, do it anywhere. It doesn't have to be only relegated to bedtime. Now let's talk about a very common pattern. You're lying in bed, you're wide awake, you're listening to your tinnitus, and it feels like you've been doing this forever. If you feel like you've been in bed for more than 20 or 30 minutes and you haven't yet fallen asleep and you're feeling really tense and alert, it's usually better to get up briefly and go to another room. You want to keep the lights dim or off and do something really calm like read, meditate, maybe a little light stretching, and then you want to return to bed when you feel sleepy again. This isn't about punishment, it's really just about retraining your brain and body. You're trying to teach your brain that bed is meant for rest and it's not for monitoring tinnitus. I also want to add in that you really shouldn't be watching the clock, because the more you watch the clock when you're in bed unable to fall asleep, the more stress builds. So really go off of how you feel. If it does seem like you've been awake for a long time, then maybe get up, go to the bathroom, sit in another room, your living room, wherever you have some space, and just take a little bit of time until you start to feel drowsy and sleepy, and then go back to bed. Now I want to address something that's very important, which is reassurance. When tinnitus feels loud at night, your brain may tell you this means it's getting worse, or it's not getting better and it's never going to get better. And the reality is that in most cases, that's really not true. Those are just some of our negative cognitive distortions coming to attack us when we're down. What's really changing is your awareness, not the signal itself. So it helps to gently remind yourself, this sound is not dangerous. I've had other nights like this in my lifetime that had nothing to do with tinnitus, where I was having a harder time falling asleep or getting to sleep or staying asleep. And remind yourself, your nervous system can settle and you can get back to sleep. That kind of positive thought isn't just denial, it's regulation. And it really can help to ease some of the stress and anxiety that's inhibiting you from being able to fall back to sleep. And here's the good news. Many people with tinnitus eventually do reach a point where nighttime is no longer the hardest part of their day. They're no longer dreading the evening hours, and they no longer feel like it's what's making them have a hard time sleeping. Because I often hear from individuals that I work with that they feel like when they're having trouble sleeping, it has everything to do with their tinnitus, and then after some time they start to remember that throughout their lifetime they've had periods where it just seems a little bit harder to fall asleep, or if they were feeling a lot of stress in another area of their life, it made it harder for them to fall asleep, and it had nothing to do with the tinnitus. But the truth is that as our brain learns that tinnitus is not a threat, it naturally stops paying so much attention to it and amplifying it. The things that have meaning are the things that our brain notices. So the less that you feel towards your tinnitus, the less the brain is naturally going to put that into the forefront of your mind. And you don't have to force that process. You just simply have to stop feeding the alarm. So if your tinnitus feels louder tonight, remember this. It's not because you're failing. It's not because your condition is worsening. It's just because your brain is tired. The world is quiet and your nervous system needs some reassurance. Add in some gentle sound. Slow down your breathing. Shift your attention to something else. Let your body settle itself. Sleep doesn't come from silence. It really comes from safety. And with the right support, like the care we can provide here at Treble Help, your brain can absolutely learn that again. If you enjoyed this video, or if you have some other suggestions or tips that have helped you overcome tinnitus at night, feel free to comment below. If you're ready or interested in some more personalized support, consider Treble Help, where we offer evidence-based tinnitus care combining hearing health, sound therapy, and nervous system regulation. Whether tinnitus is new or long-standing, the right plan can really help you to regain control and get you sleeping better again. You can click here, get started. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please subscribe so you can stay up to date with all of our latest videos.